Hello, I just wanted to jump on a little bit this evening to talk about my new book, Speaking to the Giant Within You. And the subject today that I'm going to talk about is taking control of your mind. In my book, Speaking to the Giant Within You, I am specifically talking to people that have experienced being stuck in their life for some particular reason. I'm speaking to the giant that's on the inside of you. It's something greater on the inside of you. And many times we get stuck because of pain of our past, hurts, relationship hurt, or just being constantly put down. Our self-esteem is low and not healing. Self-love, this is the first chapter in my book, Self-Love. It's dealing with loving yourself. It's dealing with being able to set boundaries, being able to say no, being able to not settle. Self-love is just loving yourself, everything about you, your authentic self. And so in the first chapter, the first thing we're going to talk about is just taking control of your mind from a perspective of loving yourself. And because if you don't love yourself like you should, then your mind, then the thoughts that you have are not good thoughts. So we want to control our mind as it relates to ourselves first, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about general thoughts in our mind. So in the first chapter, let's see, we have a questionnaire. And it's an in-depth writing of where you can list different things about yourself, because it changes things when you write things down, when you just look at it. Sometimes we don't focus on some things, but just having it can help us to heal, can help us to grow and know what we need to work on. Some of the question is like, list 3 things that you love about yourself. Name 3 people with whom you have a deep, meaningful relationships. Some of the goals that you're working on. It talks about one specific thing that I think that we don't think about as it relates to self-love is that if you've dealt with any type of pain in your life, any type of hurt, and you haven't dealt with that hurt or that pain, you owe it to yourself to deal with it, because that's showing yourself that you love yourself, meaning I'm going to do whatever it takes to heal from this pain. I can't be in this place, because many times if you're in a state of pain, then you're not thinking right, you're not eating right, you're not full, you're not at peace on the inside. And so sometimes we just kind of muddle over and keep going without dealing with the issues that's on the inside of us. And so I'm going to give 3 strategies for self-love. 1 is to let go of the pain of your past. 2 is to know your identity. And 3 is to forgive yourself and others. And it's more in the list, but you got to get the book to get the rest of them. And so now we're going to do self-love affirmations. When we affirm things, when we say things that are upbuilding, it changes our thought process. So I'm just going to read one. This a self-love affirmation. It says, I love myself with all my flaws and imperfections, my successes and compassion, my passions and dreams, my gifts and talents. I love myself the way I am. This author is unknown, but we have to love ourselves, everything about ourselves, and the things that we don't like, we got to do what it takes to make it better. Okay. So that's self-love. So that's taking control of our mind from a self-love perspective, from how we think about ourselves, the thoughts that we have, because sometimes we have toxic thoughts. Because we haven't forgiven someone, because we've done someone wrong, we don't think of ourselves like we ought to. If you forgive someone, if someone forgives you, you need to forgive yourself as well. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is just controlling your mind with everything that's going on right now. We're living in a very turbulent time, going through pandemic. We're going through economic situations, domestic violence, all at all-time high. And so I just wanted to touch on that just a little bit. So I wrote down a couple of things that we can do to take control of our mind. Meaning, one thing is just to be grateful, just to be present. It's a lot of people that have died in 2020. A lot of things that we can't understand or explain, but we have to be grateful. Each and every day that we have another day, we need to be grateful and be present. The second thing is to focus on our purpose. If you're focusing on your purpose, the thing that's on the inside of you, the thing that God gave you and blessed you and ordained for you to do, then you can't be so consumed. We can't be so consumed with what's going on in social media, what's going on the news. We got to stay informed, but at the same time, we got to focus because God is still giving us another day. The next thing is to walk in faith, not fear. Number 5 is to use wisdom. Number 6 is don't be consumed with negative talk. If people around you talking negative and stuff like that, you got to keep it positive. You got to keep your mind. My video keep cutting off. Number 7, it says, find what makes you happy and what brings you joy. We have to learn how to find the small things in each and every day that bring us joy. Like if it could be coffee, it could be going for a walk. Some of the things that help me is like exercise, going for a walk, coffee. I remember sometimes, any little small thing, nature, going outside, whatever that brings you a smile to your face, a joy, a conversation, a positive conversation. I hope that gives someone something to stand on as we go through these particular times, ways and strategies. We know that another point that I wanted to bring out is that we don't have all the answers. It's almost like we have to prepare at this particular time for the end, but we also have to be present. We still have to keep living. It all comes down again to our purpose. If we have a relationship with God and we know that it's once appointed for man to die. It's very hard to deal with everything that we're going through right now, but there's a time and a season and a purpose for everything. So a lot of things that have been spoken is happening. And so, again, we can't live in fear. We have to live in faith, and we have to walk out our purpose even in this particular time that we're living in. So those some of the things I wanted to just give tonight about taking control of your mind. I was talking a little bit out of my book, the first chapter, as it deals with self-love, as it relates to how we think about ourselves. And I wanted to touch a little bit on just some strategies, because I hear a lot of people talking about, I can't focus, I just don't know, and it's so negative. But we got to learn how, even in the midst of a pandemic, that we got to walk in faith. And so I just gave a couple of strategies. I'm going to post it up. And if you all would do me a favor, in my bio, if you would subscribe to my email, just leave me a comment and leave your email address so you can be updated if you're interested in purchasing my book. It's Speaking to the Giant Within You. Hello, Eric. Speaking to the giant within you, again, is just speaking to the inner thing that's on the inside of you that's laying dormant. Some people, because of hurt, because of pain, because of lack of opportunity, they're stuck. You could be stuck in your mind. You could be stuck in your heart from heartbreak. You can be stuck. And so I'm speaking to you in this particular book in different ways on how you can move past that place and walk into your purpose in whatever area, and definitely not settle for less than you deserve. So you all leave your email address, and as you do that, in the next week or two, the books will be ready. So I just thank y'all for joining me. I'm going to post it up. I just wanted to get on for a few minutes. I'm getting used to doing lives. It's a little different. But anyway, I appreciate you all for joining in, and just look for it to be posted. And every Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about a particular topic out of my book. And and also send me any comments or any questions that you may have that once I go through some of the topics that you want me to talk about, or if you have questions or anything, I would appreciate it. And so thank you again for joining in. Bye bye.